Now this might look like a collection of figures, and in many ways it is, but there is some sort of method to the madness here. Okay, here I have Lion-O, who was from the Thundercats. He's the lead Thundercat, as it happens. Thundercats Ho! And this is an LJN figure from 1985. Now LJN made a number of iterations of figures, a number of series, starting in 1985 going to 1987. And this is one of the first ones, and actually the figures came before the cartoon series. The Thundercats cartoon followed this line of action figures. And yeah, this is one of the earliest figures I had. As you can see, it comes with the Sword of Omens. I used to have a proper, well, not the proper Sword of Omens, but a toy version which had a light up cat there. It was bloody awesome. And we on the back we have a button which allows some sort of sword swiping action. Frantic, skilled sword action. And he's also got this claw. I can't remember what this claw is called, but it's like a power fist from Warhammer or something. It fits on his hand and allows magnificent punching skills. And he also came with this little device. Now these devices plug into this socket on the back, and as long as it's got battery, well, normally you'd put this in his back and his eyes would light up, but I seem to have run out of batteries. I'm just going to see if I've got a spare one of these. Back in a tick. And through the magic of camera editing, I am back. I swear some people still don't get that. On some of my videos where I've said, oh, welcome to it's 2015, some people comment, it's 2016, dickhead. It's not a constant live feed, people. Anyway, Panasonic, that's the way to go. Let's put this on here. It looks like Lion-O's eyes have finally given up the ghost. Oh no, we've got some. There we go. If you press really hard in his back, and we get some light. Oh yes, Lion-O. Ah, God, I wouldn't be able to do it when I was a child. I can barely do it now. So anyway, that is Lion-O, and I also have Hacky Man, who is this weird samurai guy with a dubious looking sword, and he's got a mask, and he doesn't really seem like he fits in the series, but you know, he does. And also Wily Kit, or Wily Cat, one of those two, who is obviously smaller on account that he or she is a tiny child. And also Monkeyin, and he was on the bad guys team, and he's also got the back action. Oh, that's a bit unwieldy, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Anyway, the whole point of this is that a few years ago Bandi released these 8-inch figures, and as you can see, that's 8-inch. There we go. And these guys, the old ones, are 6-inch. Well, actually they're a bit bigger, about 7-inch. I always thought 6 inches was a lot smaller than that. Oh well. And people were like, oh, Thundercats have come back out, amazing. But they only really released these two, Tigra and Lion-O, in the 8-inch series before fans were like, oh God, no, we need 6-inch ones, we can't fight, it doesn't go with the rest of the models, it's not effective. And as you can see, looking at some other models, here we've got Skeletor from He-Man. Oh God, no, he's much smaller, isn't he? Look at him, he's tiny. Come on, Lion-O! That's probably not a great example, but it doesn't really fit with the traditional size of figures, especially today. They are much bigger and unwieldy. Here we go, here's a Ghostbusters, his Trash Man. This is terrible, these examples aren't working at all. Anyway, he was deemed too big, so Bandai came out and they said, alright, we'll do some 6-inch ones. So they released Memra and another Lion-O like this, and then they stopped again because, you know, they've made some money and they can't be bothered to carry on. But anyway, there's also a new cartoon series which is very similar to the original Thundercats. I was always quite impressed because it's not 3D computer graphics like all the recent shit, it's actually pretty faithful to the original cartoon. I thought we could do a quick comparison between these two. Now, you get extra hands that you can put on these new ones, like so, which is a bit strange, a bit morbid, a bit surreal. Take their hands off, put some new ones on, but then they can hold other stuff, like the small sword of Omens before it gets enlarged, before it gets all excited and turns into a big sword. We have a little one, and then when he gets excited, it turns into a massive sword of Omens. Get out of there. Like so, and this should clip into this hand. Hopefully I don't... Oh god, I've ripped his arm off. Let's try a different hand. Let's try this one. No, that's not working either. I don't really see the point of these extra hands. Let's try and... There we go. If we reattach his hand, his prothesis hand, then he has his massive sword. As you can see, it's quite a bit bigger than the original, giving the extended character size. And his joints are much more articulate. I mean, look, he can bend, and he can move his arms, and he can even move his torso about. Well, hey, let's twist again, like we did last summer. And the original is quite, it's solid, like, as you'd expect from most action figures from the 80s. They're very rigid. And his face, it's a good detail on his face. You know, listening to the Angry Video Game Nerd, I've come to expect shitness from LJN, but their toy line, yeah, they're quite good at toys, especially there. The detail on the Bandi one is also pretty darn good. See that? And they look like their respective cartoons in a lot of ways. There's obviously some more muscle detail on the new ones, and there's more facial detail, but it's what you expect. But this, yeah, you won't get the same nostalgia as I do from this, one of my first figures. If we have a look at Tigra. Hello, how are you doing? Tigra has a whip, the saucy devil, and he has this other kinky sort of toy. I don't know what he's been up to. If we compare that to Wily Kit, who is the most comparable one I've got, you can see they have similar heads and stuff. And Wily Kit is a bit flexible. She can do this, so she looks like she's going down an aquapark slide or jumping high into the air. All the old figures used to sit like this, didn't they? That is not the most gracious way to sit. Oh no, he sits forward. God, look at that, I'm making stuff up left, right and centre. But a lot of figures used to sit like this. I suppose being a child they jump around a lot more. And these guys, let's compare sitting action. Let's have a nice meal, shall we? All sit around the table. Be nice and sociable. Fuck off, you old bastard. They sit quite similarly, I guess. Their legs stick out. He's got movable feet. And he hasn't. Oh, and you also get this as well. This is the new version of the... What is this thing called? The Claw of Thunder. Or something like that. I should be able to remember. But this goes on his hand in some fashion. We have some sort of clip somewhere. Nah, you know, it goes on his hand. I can't be bothered to do it right now. Yeah, and that's the old versus the new. And also, from the old series, I have this. And this is Memra. This is a special edition Memra, because you had to order this through mail order. You couldn't buy it in the shops. You could buy the proper Memra, but not this one. And there was one with light up eyes. This one doesn't have light up eyes. 1985, Telepix T-Wolf LJN Toys Limited. So there we go. Quick comparison between the new and the old Thundercats figurines. Join me again next Monday for more Modern Mondays. Thanks for stopping by. See you later.
Thundercats Ho! Thundercats are running, Thundercats are loose. Feel the magic, hear the roar.